I become audible? I hope.
Yay! Hi,
Hello,
Cho.
everybody.
Hi, Chira. Hi, Granny.
All right, now I can do my advertising. Oh, wow, this thing is...
We were with Troll just this time last week, right?
No, the other way. Okay, there we go. Sorry, this thing was way over, super
That's right.
overgained. I don't remember why.
Yeah, I think we were with Troll. Hi, Bio.
Hey, Baronel.
Yeah, it's all Dave's fault. If anything's wrong, it's Dave's fault.
You should
My
be getting
voice doesn't
echo.
come back from my exciting trip to New York. I talked a lot.
She did
Like
talk a lot.
normally when I'm at home, I talk to no one. So my vocal cords were way out of fitness exercise. I don't even know what the words are anymore.
It's
Words.
true. It's true. Yeah, I just turned down the gain on this microphone. It
Hi,
was super
Zaps.
high for some reason.
Hi, Zaps.
Um.
Twitch has updated its terms of service.
Oh, thank God.
I wonder what they don't have like a change thing. I bet it's like, here, you read these and basically we own your life, right? No. Discord's getting ads. Sorry. I keep laughing about it.
Oh, yeah, it's so... Repeat feed 4.5, 5.5 seconds apart.
Was it ever illegal to do that? I didn't even know. I thought everyone did that.
Should only be a single feed. Are you sure you don't accidentally have it open in like YouTube and Twitch?
And surely, like, when you say illegal, you mean they didn't like it. They can't stop you. It's
I
not
was gonna say
illegal.
I've been doing that
They're
for
not
a
going to
while.
send. They're not going to send the police around. Well, Twitch can not like whatever they don't like. They can take that up with Google. Good luck, Amazon.
Who else do I? Where do I? I'm doing my stream publicity thing for the first time in a while, so I'm like, oh my God, where do I even put
I
this?
don't have any hot takes at the moment, apart from Discord's going to have ads. Ha ha ha! I knew it was coming.
Well, it's just the beginning of the end of Discord is what ends up happening. Like,
Yeah, and then there'll be something new, which is all like for the Ute, and we'll all go over there, and we'll forget. And then in 10 years' time, we'll be like, "Oh my God, do you remember when Discord was the thing?" That's exactly what happened.
well, the thing that's really frustrating. I mean, there's a lot of things that I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Oh, Dave does have. I didn't have a hot take because my hot take was haha.
Well, I mean, my hot take is a little bit haha. Like, there's nothing else to say but haha, right? And like, Discord's a company; they want to make money. That's fine.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see what their ads, these like mission things. They're not particularly intrusive. Like, they're not the worst thing in the world. Um,
I mean, so I've not seen any of them, right? Because I don't think they're on the browser version because I don't use the desktop version.
yeah, don't give. Oh, I see for their platforms and stuff. That makes a bit of sense. That they wanted to be fussy about that. Oh my God, I'm
I mean,
posting
yeah, just yes.
everywhere.
I mean, in the end, Zaps, like in the end, Discord is just going to follow the tried and
Well,
tested capitalist route.
the problem. I think the problem is, in my mind, at least, this is all
IRC will
pre
never
mahjong
die.
warm
Yeah,
up.
bio now.
ISC will never die. The problem is that the storyline is always terrible, and I don't think people really understand what an awful impact that has on our own psychology. Like, if you think about it, here's how it goes, right? And I'm sure we're all going to know this because it's happened with for all of us something we think is
Yeah.
cool, right? A product comes out and it seems really great, and it's free, and like you can just use it, and it's a tool you can rely on in your life because it's great, and you know, and then they add new features, and it gets even better and even better and even better because the whole point is to get you to like it. They'll spend as much money as possible to get you to like it, and then the enshittification comes in, right? Suddenly it's like, well, now we got to make
Well,
money.
I
Now we
think
got to
I
do
think they wanted
this.
to make money from their subscription model, right? But
Right,
I,
right.
I don't who's I don't subscribe to
I
Discord.
do.
It doesn't.
I
I see.
for sure do.
It doesn't offer me anything that I
Pardon me.
want. So why bother?
It offers me a few things that I like, and I'm happy to
Yeah,
pay for it
that's
because I
good. I
use it
mean,
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Because
yeah, exactly.
I was hoping we'd avoid the nosedive of enshittification. Because
Mm,
enshittification is just a shitty boyfriend or girlfriend over and over and over again. You meet
mm,
them, they say everything you want to hear, they try to be real nice to you, they pay a lot of attention to you, everything
mm.
seems great. And then a couple months in, once you're like, man, sure, I'm glad I'm in this good relationship with someone who brings a lot of wonderful things to my life, they start acting like a piece of shit. They start taking advantage of you. They start abusing you. And all of a sudden, you're like, wow, I guess this sure is over. I sure am sad and let down by this. And this attitude, I think, has become an endemic cynicism with the entire process of, I mean, process of capitalism is a little broad, but I'll say it. There is
Mm.
no new product that comes out where I think, man, this seems good, and I love supporting it because I bet it's going to get even better. It's always, yeah, when's this jig going to be up?
Yeah, right? Like, you better
You
just
know,
don't
like
just come and enjoy it now,
it
and then,
used to be
yeah,
a
as
big
you
piece
said,
of shit.
it'll get crappy, and then you just have to run
Yeah,
to the next thing that's trying
yeah.
to buy our love.
And so I if Discord had started out from the beginning as a subscription service, and this is part of why I subscribe. I mean, the subscription gives me some things that I like, cool.
Hmm.
But I also was kind of hoping that maybe they could get away from this miserable time to start squeezing and squeezing and squeezing attitude if people actually just paid for what they used. And I'm
Mm.
happy to pay for what I use because I like it
Mm.
and it is useful to me.
Mm.
But that's not good enough.
I
Now we
don't
need
know,
to
like,
squeeze
yeah,
more out of it.
I feel like because I don't know, I get what you're saying, but it's a bit like Twitter Blue subscription model. Like, it just doesn't offer anything for me that I'd need to pay that
Well,
much
I have
money
my own
for.
server, so it gives me the ability to give boost to my server to get better things for it. It gives me the ability to use
Yeah,
emotes
see,
everywhere I want. It gives me the ability to use
I have my
animations.
own
Like
server, and I just don't care for those people enough. No,
that's fine.
I
I mean,
do
it's
care for
it's
those
it's
people a
it's your
lot,
choice. I'm not saying
but
you. I'm not saying like you
I
should or
think
you're obligated.
it was the price points though as well. Because what if it was like a quid or 2 quid a month, I'd just done it, right? But they put it at a point where I have to think about whether I should do it or not.
But but even that,
I
even
do it
that
on.
statement
Mm.
is informed by a market in which the majority of things you use deliberately make themselves free to be easier for you to
Yeah,
get in the
I
door
know.
on without ever at all attuning you to the actual costs of operating
I'm not arguing that you're not wrong, but in the end, I'm just making my own
them.
personal rational decisions of, if Discord closed tomorrow, whatever.
Sure.
I guess, yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, so I think, yeah, I don't know. I just not motivated. It's like, when was it WhatsApp had a subscription for a while, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but I mean,
It's like a
it's the
quid a
same.
year or something, and you're like, okay, whatever. I don't care about a quid a
The
year.
same thing happens with video games, though, right? Like,
Mm,
video games don't cost $60 a game to make. They cost more if you're looking at the big
mm.
games, but no one will pay more. And then you
No,
have phone
yeah.
games that come out for free, and that just drags down the perceived value of everything. I remember when
Um,
I was a kid, it was like $190 for one Nintendo 64 game.
yes.
You got
Nintendo games
one.
were expensive, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
mean,
so
I don't
it's
know anyone who
like,
paid for them. I thought everyone just pirated things.
but again, it dilutes your concept of what things actually cost to sustain and do. And we're used to getting these like world spanning, always available services given to us for free on like
Mm,
the penalty of constantly feeling like we're having a company's fist reaching up into our spleens. And
mm.
then after a few years, they start saying, man, I sure do hate the feeling of 20 companies' fists reaching up into me to grip my spleen firmly. I wonder what could ever possibly be done for that, but I won't spend $5.
No,
And
you're
it's
not wrong.
like,
You're not wrong, Dave. You're not wrong. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't know, can I connect this to Mahjong? Because I was having a thought about Mahjong and the way that people, and
you're
this
more than
might be
welcome. Yeah.
because Mahjong isn't going to take this certification route. I don't see how it can. Can it? Can it? Mm.
Well, it can't because Mahjong's fundamentally free, right? Like
Yeah,
anyone with tiles can play
elements
it.
of it can. Like, I feel like any route it takes is going to look more like the soccer route, right?
Hmm.
Because you can't stop people playing football. You have a ball and you kick it. You're playing football, right? However, all of the Premier League, international matches and stuff like that, they are just covered in ads now, right? And what gets me is you buy the shirts and, like, the ad, you're still wearing an ad on your shirt,
Yeah, wearing
even though
ads on
you
shirts
paid
is
for it.
crazy. It's crazy.
True, but the trick here is if you're small enough to buy the kids shirt, because they're not allowed to put the ad on the kids shirt. Anyway, so, but because I think the way that we are engaging with these companies like Discord is as a consumer, even if we're not paying for it, right?
I mean, no, we imagine this is part of that negative
Mm,
cycle. We fantasize that we are a consumer. We are
mm,
not. We are a
mm, mm.
metric at
Right.
best.
Yeah. But the problem is changing behavior. So the way that people interact with WRC and its rule set has fundamentally changed, I think, in the last 5 years.
Uh-huh.
And part of that is maybe the influx of people from Magic Gathering and the fighting game community. But of course, they're used to interacting with companies. Magic the
Mm.
Gathering is a company, and they are incentivized to just make you feel good because they need you to buy more cards, right? Same with the fighting game community. They need you to buy the games and all the flair and all the other things, right? WRC doesn't have anything to sell you, but the way people approach me sometimes, they act as if they've got money that they're going to take away from me. That, oh, I'll take my business elsewhere. Like, I never had your business anyway, so I don't know where you're taking it. Um, but I think, yeah, I mean, it's an honor to be treated at that kind of level. However, sometimes I think people aren't getting what they want because their expectation is set
Mm.
that
Mm.
WRC
Mm.
is a company and we're making money. We're selling a product and we don't have a product sale. As you said, anyone can take our rule set and play it. We don't even sell Mahjong tiles. Don't know. I just throw that thought out there. People can say you're wrong, or um, in some ways it's been better. I think people are a bit more respectful. Certainly when we first started out at WRC, I think people were some groups were really disrespectful in ways that just were unnecessary. Like, you don't have to like it; it's fine. Everyone has their own views. But some of the way that dislike was expressed was, yeah, there was a lot of vitriol. I was like,
I
it's
think
like, cool.
I missed that, I think, actually.
I was really on the hard end of it because that was like more around the 2014 era.
Yeah,
Um,
I was a feeble consumer myself in 2014. I was
yeah,
just going to WRC. I was
you
happy
were
to
the
be there.
fan. Wee.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Yeah, why don't I sell Mahjong tiles? I'll tell you now why. Because me and Jen used to sell Mahjong tiles, but that is not a good business. Like, unless you're going to buy, like, I don't have any way to store them. Like,
Yeah.
anyone who sells Mahjong tiles sells them alongside something else. Like, there's no sort of Mahjong tiles exclusive seller, right?
I think, well, it's also timing. I think, especially back when you were doing that, it's like you're not going to compete in Asia
Mm,
because you're just not. And
mm.
then outside of Asia, you have all the warehousing and distribution problems, and you also have a very small customer base.
It's precisely,
So it's
yeah.
kind of like this is not worth it.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, maybe I need to think about merchandise like jerseys so that people can interact with us and support us in a useful way. But again, I said that the people who would, it's so small. I love you all, thank you very much, but there are so few of you, and the amount of work it takes to produce a jersey, source a jersey, get it printed. In the end, you
hmm.
inevitably end up drop shipping it, and don't know what the quality is like. Like, is that really something like? Is that something I want to put my name on, the brand on? I don't know. Um, and
And
it's a lot of
dealing with the
time and
inevitable
effort,
problems
right?
too. Like there's always going to be,
Yeah.
not that anyone is being a problem. This I got it and it doesn't
I
fit,
do.
or the
I want
wrong
to
thing
be
got
the
shipped.
Andrew Tate for Mahjong. That's what I want to
Well,
be.
then get yourself in prison.
No, I've got to do all the other things. I want to traffic players across borders to
Oh
get to play
God.
Mahjong.
Oh
Do
no.
you know what? But the thing I love most about Andrew Tate is that he has that weird faux American accent, and then every now and then it breaks, and you hear his dumb as common council estate accent. And there's nothing wrong with his actual accent. It's the fact that he puts on the accent that makes me laugh so hard. It's just so weird American. Like, it's not, I don't know. I don't know what an American hears in it. I hear a British
I'll be
person
honest.
faking
I have
American.
never had the stomach to listen at all to Andrew Tate. I have
I
never
find
been
him
able to deal with
fascinating.
it.
I do. I find him quite fascinating. Yeah, do you know, I guess what I find fascinating is the level of self-doubt that he's managed to twist into a strength.
Well, again,
It,
this all falls under my like no one else is speaking to the people he's speaking to, so they'll listen to anyone who's talking to them and telling them anything other than you are
mm,
trash and you should feel bad.
mm.
That's
But
it.
yeah, but getting back to WRC, I think the problem is if I start making it more like a brand that we sell, then I don't know. Do I want us to be, like Magic the Gathering? Do I want that sort of responsibility? I don't know. Like, there's all these weird kind of dynamics that alter as the years go on, as other things are happening in the world. And I'm just aware that, when just the price of the event itself sets an expectation, right? And I don't think I think
Well,
very few people understand. Like, it's a high price point, right? €400 for the event is a high price point for a lot of people. I would argue that for similar events and similar hobbies, it's actually very, 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 very cheap, right? But what I don't think people understand is that actually the price per head that we need actually double. So if it's 400 euros, we need 800 euros to get you in that event and have that the experience you're having. Um, yeah, I don't know. So I'm always very conscious that, people have given me, they're traveling, they've given me money which they may have saved up for a year, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. It's a huge sum of money for a lot of people. And I always have this horrible, I don't know, it's a lot of responsibility. That's what I'm going to say. It's a lot of responsibility. And that's my focus, that we can
This is
we can deliver on the
my
people who
Dave hot
Dave's
take.
gonna. I don't know. I just want to deliver. I want to deliver for the 200 people who turn up to the event and pay 400 euros for it. That's what I want to do. That's my focus.
My Dave hot take is you care too much. My Dave hot take. No, but to ground that in a little bit of reality before people start clipping that and sending it everywhere. I don't think there's ever been a disappointing WRC. I don't think any of
It's
the
always
events that
I
we've
can
actually
never
held.
hear that because there's always been disappointments for me.
Oh no, and having been in the sauce, so to speak, sure, there are plenty of
Yeah.
things where you're like, oh, we could have done that better. Oh, that didn't go off as well. But I don't think 3 times in a row this event has happened.
Mm,
3 times in a row, I think everyone who came felt like they
mm,
were at a top tier event, at a
mm,
serious top tier event, and felt like it was overall worthwhile. I really can't think of anything about any of the WRCs that have happened 3 times
mm.
in a row that would have
Yeah.
left people be like, what a fucking waste. Like I
Yeah.
really can't see anything coming out like that for anyone.
And I appreciate you saying that, but that's kind of like if the first one had been a bit of a flunk, actually that would have made it easier because every time we did a good one, we could be like, at least it wasn't as bad as the first one. Whereas we've really just gone from strength to strength, and that increases the pressure, right? Because I'm like, well, I've got to keep this momentum up.
At what point do you feel like a happy plumber though?
I apparently never.
Like there's got to be a point where you just say like, yeah, I've been a plumber for 50 years and I've plumbed and plumbed and plumbed and your clogged sink, I bet it'll be okay. I bet I can handle it.
Hmm.
Like there's got to be some point where you take the credit and you say, yeah, we've done it. We did it once and again and again. And that doesn't mean that it's trivial, but we're going to do it a fourth time and a
Hmm.
fifth and a sixth because we've done it.
Thank you, thank you, Zap,
It's
for
been
saying that.
10 years.
I know, but in the end, someone like Magic the Gathering or a shit ton of money is going to come along and do it better because money makes things go better.
But
That's
that
just
doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. One day I can
mm,
fall over dead from an aneurysm. I can
okay.
live my life in fear of that, or I can just go around and live and say, yeah, that is, I guess, a thing that could happen and didn't happen today. So whatever. Like I can't.
True, true,
I
true,
don't think
true,
you can like hide from it like that. And
true.
frankly, Magic the Gathering just fucking fired all of their core necessary staff. I have
Oh, is
no
that because
clue
they're
why they
using
did it.
AI now? Are they using?
I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell Hasbro was thinking, but they fired. Yeah, I know exactly how I die. But like they fired all their core staff. They
Hmm.
just took an axe to their money tree.
Thanks,
I have
Doctor
no idea
Belong.
what they were doing or why. But like, there's no guarantee either. Like at the end of the day, like I don't know. I think frankly, like first of all, WRC should be seen as being larger than the event
Hmm.
because it's not
Yeah,
just the event.
that's the challenge now, I guess. Well, I mean, it's great that America are using the rules.
Maybe that was a feature. Maybe
And
this was a feature.
that's posed some
Feature's
interesting
not bad.
challenge because America's taken the reduced penalties that we kind of envisaged would only be used in a casual setting, and they're applying it to a competitive setting, and that is yeah, again, but as I said, like a lot of the approaches from that then are very much what I imagine Magic the Gathering players kind of come up with, which isn't a negative. I want to stress, I'm not saying this is a negative, but adjusting my approach to make sure that we're getting the best for them has been difficult, I think
I'm
is
the one who
fair to
has no
say.
problem with the hot takes, so I'll just say it. I'm sorry, everyone. Mahjong will never be Magic. It's just not the same thing. It's not the same thing. The
Mhm.
rules, and I want to say this very clearly before I continue on this hot take. I earnestly believe, because I've been watching a lot of these rules questions and rules conversations, I earnestly believe that everyone involved in these conversations, oh no, we lost Dr. Balan. Everything involved in these conversations, everyone involved in these conversations has the earnest desire to run good events with
Mm,
high quality judging, make sure people adhere to the rules, make sure the rules are
mm,
palatable, and everyone is aligned with doing something good here. And I think
mm,
everyone is acting in good faith and really trying to make things the best they can. So this is not a put down to anyone.
mm,
But I think there is a challenge where in In Magic the Gathering, you have this huge rules Bible. It is a 1v1 game with
Yeah, yeah,
incredibly strict, incredibly absolute rules, with
yeah,
every card having a list of careful errata from every situation.
yeah.
And with a large volunteer judging force, they've gotten very good at providing with a very firm set of guidelines as to exactly how you do it in exactly every situation.
And is Magic
And
the Gathering primarily English speaking as well? I
it
guess.
at least started in America. I don't know if I can say with any authority
Yeah,
whether it's primarily English speaking or not, but
yeah.
Mahjong will never be able to be like that.
Oh,
There's four people at the table instead of two. The
hmm.
contexts are broader and more ambiguous. The
Tragic and
situations can be
saddening.
weirder. Rules errors can happen. People notice or don't notice. It will always be muddier than that. And there has to be some kind of
Mm.
mutual acceptance here, I think. Like, again, touching up some of the rules ambiguities is great.
Oh,
Getting
yeah, no,
questions and documenting ways judges make decisions about things so we can be consistent. All
yeah,
these things are great. And I'll repeat yet again, everyone wants to make it better and everyone's acting in good
yeah.
faith and trying to do the best they can.
Oh no, I mean we've had some
Um,
great feedback. One of them, I like one of them that I read it and I'm like, oh, this is like I realize like yeah, I think Sylvan picked up that there was actually a massive conflict in the rules we'd never noticed. But that's
hmm.
what a fresh set of eyes does, right? I was like, yeah, I just wrote grimaces on the feedback form because I was just like, oh geez.
Well, good. But this is
Um,
how we improve, right? We find it, we talk about it, we
yeah.
improve it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just it's difficult because at some point I'm going to have to push back on some things that we can't fix this for you. This is just not something we can fix. And then it's kind of getting to the point where, where does the WRC rule set and referee guidelines start and end, and when does, the local groups then have to start taking over for, and that's always an interesting problem. And I think WRC, obviously, we're very we're from Japan, right? Well, I'm not personally from Japan. However, the rule set, um, it's had great guidance from Japan, basically. Sylvain wrote it, he's French, but then so much feedback has come from Japan because essentially they're the ones playing it at the high level competition event, right?
Mm.
If they turn around and say, we observed this as a problem, they've seen it as a problem 20, 50 times. It has to be fixed, right? Um, and they prefer, as you said, less of this kind of massive Bible and more of a sort of overview document. And yeah, I am thinking now we need other smaller documents below that can kind of add
I'm
to
gonna
it,
I'm gonna
supplement it.
play devil's advocate slightly and
Okay,
raise an
sure, go for
eyebrow
it.
and say, are you saying Japan prefers less rules?
Um, yeah, I mean, so I think the approach to rules is different, right? Because they know how they should behave. So okay, the great one which I had several arguments. This isn't to do with this latest NAMA, but around
Mm.
2017 time, I had multiple Americans say you need to put hygiene rules in there. Like you need to tell them to wear deodorant. You need to tell them to cut their nails. And I was like, I can't do that. That's just not possible. Um, and I'm okay if America needs to do that. Obviously, I will say that having to keep your nails short is a little bit sexist, but hey ho. Um,
No, it's mostly that they don't want gross people with like 8 weeks of caked filth under their nails.
Yeah, yeah, but I guess because no one in Japan tells people that's the rule, but they all know that's the rule. You don't need to write the rule down because
Yeah.
everyone knows it's the rule.
Well,
So
frankly,
there's
I feel
already
like
this.
hygiene stuff is an event level. Like me as the organizer of my event can write, if you're going to come to my event, please do not stink, and we will eject you if you do. And that has
Yeah,
nothing to do with gameplay rules. I feel like that's just a natural place to draw that
yeah,
line.
yeah. So yeah, exactly. But that's an extreme example, right? But other ones maybe less obvious. I guess that's the problem though. You're looking at Japan, which is a very mature playing environment. Lots of people know what should happen, but they haven't written it down because they never wrote it down. It's never been written down.
Hmm.
That's why they struggle so much with working out where so much of it came from. They never wrote it down. They just did it.
Hmm.
And WRC, every time I hand it to someone, they're like, oh, wow, you really wrote it down. Because they never done this exercise. Um, you were there at the table when we went to see, Takeshobo and stuff. And their rule set is on a one A4 side of
Yeah,
document.
yeah. It's just as much like yes, no, no, yes, no,
Yeah,
no.
with this is
Starting
a
this, that's it.
chombo. Yeah, no, no, no. Exactly. And then, if you go to a mahjong parlor, again, they might have a slightly bigger one side document, but it's still only going to be like A3, and that's going to be mostly
Right.
focused on like don't pick your nose and stuff. Um,
Oh, hygiene guidelines.
Yeah. I mean, hygiene is always a problem because, again, every culture has a different take on this. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when deodorant was considered an American problem. Um,
Well,
yeah. Anyway, but so that's the struggle, right? Is that you've got a very mature playing environment clashing against less mature playing environments, right?
well, I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know if I'd
and
call it.
again, Pez, you can't blow your nose in Japan. So,
It's just illegal.
so well, that's why they sit there. It's like, oh my word. Anyway, that's another thing.
And
But
it's
yeah.
not about less mature. I just think it's that the expectations in the North
Mm,
American environment have been very shaped around these
yeah.
very corporate games that have very, very, very structured and strict rules. And I'm not going to call that a bad thing.
No, it's not
It's
bad
just
at all.
different. It's just a
Yeah.
different approach.
But then because Magic the Gathering came out of America, they can set the tone.
Mm.
However, Riichi Mahjong has come out of Japan and an environment that has almost pushed against documenting it.
I think a third ahead of this Hydra shaped challenge is online
Mm,
play environments
mm,
because online play environments, for better or worse, because they are software. This isn't even about what particular online play environment you use, but because it is software, you're also operating in that world of hard rules and fixed outcomes. When the software
yeah,
sees this, it does that. When the software sees this, it does that. Whatever those things
yeah.
are, and again, it's not about online platforms being good or bad, or any particular one being good or bad. But if you play primarily online, you're also in this very absolute world where every
Mm,
situation will either not be able to come up because it's online, or be resolved in a fixed way that's always the same. And
yeah.
I think that also shapes expectations a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And it's always a struggle, right? The mistakes that we need to find a way to solve on the real table, you can't do that. It's not possible to do online. So you're not going to incorrectly, put the tile in your cheat, right? You're not going to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it just won't ever happen. Or you're not going to forget to tip your reach tile, and then
Yeah,
remember four discards later, and then be like, "Oh, I think it was this one." Like that
yeah.
just literally can't happen online. So it doesn't worry because you never have to think about how that situation resolves. Can you?
Mm.
Wait, is there a platform where you? Oh, is it like
Yeah,
the VR ones
it's
where you're just
Mahjong Time.
manipulating?
No, Mahjong Time allows you to chombo.
I don't know if I love this or hate this.
I don't know. I'm not entirely versed with it. The problem is the UI I struggle with, which is why I chombo. It's not because I can't do Mahjong.
The UI has been a
The
little
the
challenging.
weird thing about it is it every now and then it offers for you to run or timo, even though you haven't got a Yaku, but it seems to do it randomly, right? To kind of catch you out. Yeah, exactly. The
Again,
Ponichi
like
bug
I
does it
can't
randomly.
tell if I love that or hate that. Like
But it's the coming up randomly. Then if it always came up, then I just it's fine. Like that's just how it goes, right? But yeah, it's because it flashes up, and you're so used to thinking, okay, well, it's prompting me to do something. I should be able to do it, right?
Well, I know I like that it kind of like disabuses you of that notion of like I don't have to worry about whether I can pong or chi because the game will just tell me. No, I have to know. I have to know if I want to pong or chi
Right, but
because the
then
game.
why not
But
why not
at the
offer
same
you the
time,
option at every tile then? Why
because that
offer it
probably
when
just
you're
on
stuck?
average slows the game down by like a million.
Yeah, true, true.
So
Yeah,
it's
but
like
that's why I chomboed.
again, like I kind of hate that because it's like why would you be? Why is the game actively trying to fool me and screw me up? But I kind of love that because it's kind of like all right, yeah, I do actually have to know if I'm going to play on this platform. I have to actually know whether I want to pong or cheese something, and I can't just rely on, oh, it popped up, better hit the button. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. Dave
wiggle
likes
about
it.
it, gonna wiggle. I see a positive to it. I'm not gonna say I like it abstractly because it's got to slow
Yeah.
everything down. And again, the game actively trying to trick you seems like a bit of a bummer to me.
Yeah,
But
that's the thing that annoys me is yeah, I feel like it's trying to trick me and I don't
yeah, the
like
game
that.
actively trying to trick you, not a fan of that. Um,
Yeah,
so
if
everyone's
it's just the
here.
VR stuff and you're just there. Anyway, I played two games for the Janken Run League, my
Everyone's
two
here.
final games of the season. Well done, Chiral, by the way. Thank you for leading us through a great season, our first inaugural season of UK
I wanna show off my cool
Armor.
stuff.
Okay, well,
So
yeah,
everyone's
anyway.
here. Everyone's here, and we did
Oh, it's so
our
true.
class with
Yes,
Karen,
let's do the tile painting.
and it was really really cool. And we got a whole bunch of stuff. I got a whole bunch of extra stuff. First of all, I super appreciate everyone who came to the class. Thank you so much. Everyone who helped out with the class, our wonderful staff. Thank you all so much. I have to say that because we could not have done it without people's help. And the other important thing is, what was I thinking? I want to see if we can do more of these classes.
Have you got the task to show?
Yeah, I'm gonna in a minute. I don't want to
Okay.
distract people from my important musings.
Oh,
But
important
like, I
musings.
really would love to offer this more at Sparrow's Nest. Now, obviously, we can't keep flying Karen out repeatedly, although she's wonderful and we loved having her. It would be a huge stress
So
and
tell
expense.
us who Karen is first, because
Oh,
no
I'm
one knows who Karen
sorry.
is.
So
Yeah.
Karen Aruba of Hong Kong is our patron artist. We worked with her to do the mural in the back of Sparrow's Nest. We worked with her to get our Americans. We worked with her for this class. She does Mahjong and Mahjong themed art and graphic design. Her father's one of the last hand carvers still active in Hong Kong. She's also just a very nice person and wonderful to work with and wonderful to hang out with. And so we had her, in addition to working with her on the mural and working with her on this America themed set, we had her come over to deliver her Mahjong tile coloring workshop for the first time outside of Hong Kong. And it was a really great time. It was really wonderful. And I'd love to be able to, I want to see if I can work with her to be able to deliver at least just the painting part of the class more regularly at Sparrow's Nest because it's super fun. And it's easier than I thought it was going to be, actually. I thought it was going to be super hard, but I had no problem making tiles that look pretty all right, all things considered. So I can show everyone what we got out of this. So out of this class, I got this nice box set. And in the box, I'm going to open up here carefully. There is, open up, do my unboxing here. We have our box here on the camera. There's a nice little card, and then I'm just going to carefully take out. Gently remove them and make sure not to drop them on.
Yeah, don't drop them down.
Here we go. Cool. Tiles that I was able to paint. They're in plastic. I have them wrapped up. All that paintwork is me. I did this myself with my bare Dave hands.
Oh, you don't have any of the American exclusive ones there.
No,
mine
no,
are
I didn't have any.
downstairs. Oh, I should have brought mine up. Oh, crats.
Yeah, I should have gotten yours.
But,
But
sorry.
yeah. So it was super fun to do. Let me see if I can get at least a detail on one of these. Let me pull out. I'll pull out Happy Life here. Get a bit of a better view, so everyone.
It was easier than, because I'm pretty bad. I thought it was
Focus,
going to be
please.
like
Camera
Warhammer
focus.
modeling again,
There
but
we
it
go.
wasn't.
Yeah. It was much easier to do than one might think. Basically, the way it works is you paint over and then you use a scraper to scrape off all the excess paint and leaves only what's in the groove. Maybe it reminded me of the scrimshaw stuff I did when I was a kid. Because Long Island, where I grew up, was a big whaling community, so they had us to go to like the whaling museum and they had us do scrimshaw there, which was very cute. And it's a similar thing where you're carving into a surface and then you ink the line so the ink gets stuck in the lines and then you can wipe it off the surface. It came out really, really well. It was super fun. So I'd love to see if we could work to do more tile painting stuff at Sparrow's Nest.
Yeah, it was really. And so the other thing that she had was the device that you used to create the circles and the pin tiles. But it was like, it had like this big weight on top, and then it was this big thing, and then I don't know, like you twist it, but with like Dave probably can describe.
Yeah,
it
I can describe.
It was like a drill. It's a drill,
Yeah.
basically.
It's a manually powered drill, and yeah, there's a big weight on the top to give it inertia when you spin it, and then there's a crossbar that goes kind of through. There's a big bar that goes down to the drill bit, which you put on the tile, and then there's a cross piece that goes around the center with string attached. So you spin the cross piece, and then when you push it down, it unravels the spun string and spins the drill, and then the drill energy like respins it to pull it back up. So when you're using it, you're like push down and you kind of let it pull itself back up, and then you push down again, and you can get that going at a good rate and get into a rhythm with it. The weight kind of keeps it centered and your input kind of keeps it centered. And so now you're spinning and spinning and drilling the circles in further as you go and go and go and go and go. It is hard. It's not hard in terms of like the force required. It's hard in terms of like getting to the point where you have it centered properly.
You need the rhythm.
Even, you get the rhythm going. Yeah, like once you get going, you're kind of like, well, I'm not going to stop this ever. Like now this is going forever because I got it, so we'll keep it going. It was really interesting to see how that gets done.
And then he did the video, like he's there and he's got like really, was it acrylic they were using? Like a really hard acrylic
Yeah, yeah.
tile. And then just carving out. But it was really interesting because, what looks like just one carve mark, actually it was taken in multiple ones,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's how to get arthritis anyway. So she was showing that, and like you're carving on a white tile, so you can barely see what you're doing anyway. When we got the like unpainted tiles with the
Yeah,
green
yeah, that's why
dragon, I
for
could not.
all the demos, he was using, like, the colored side of tiles, so it becomes much easier to
Yeah,
see. But, yeah, you're doing it
but
on white tiles, you can't see anything, and it
mm.
seemed like a lot of the technique was actually in the offhand. Like,
Oh,
the
because
hand
it's
holding the
twisting it,
knife
right?
was very
Yeah,
much just holding it steady, and then the offhand was, like, moving the tile against it to, like, carve, to get angles and curves. Also, probably a lot safer because 'cause you're not
yeah.
likely to, like, hurl the knife in some direction.
I so he
Um,
was he was 70 years old, right? And they were saying that he'd been doing it since he was like a young teenager or something, and he's been doing it for whatever 12 hours a day his entire
yeah.
life. And I got to the end and I was like, maybe, however beautiful this art is, maybe it does need to die. Like there's just no need.
Well, there's no way to really preserve it, and again, if what it
Yeah.
takes to become a craftsman like that is to do this for 8 to 10 hours a day for 10 years, like, damn.
Mm,
But yeah, that's what and she was saying, like, he used to be able to do 7 sets a day.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
that's
7
insane.
sets a day? That's
Yeah.
like and again, think when we were discussing that drill, right? That drill does 1 of the circle marks on the pin tiles.
Yeah.
A full set of I'm gonna calculate, a full set of pin tiles is like 9 plus 8 plus 7
So
plus
yeah, the
6 plus
E-pin
5
doesn't
plus
count,
4
right? Because
plus
that's a
3
different
plus
one.
2, 44 times 4, that's 176 of those you have to do to make 1 set's worth of pin tiles. 176.
Let's take a moment to appreciate mechanization.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is not to disrespect the craftsmanship of it and the work that goes into it and but
But it's back
jeez.
to we don't know how to pay for things that are valuable anymore. Like the amount of money that a handcrafted set like that, it must be phenomenal, right? If you're actually paying the amount of time it takes to do that, and people aren't prepared to do that, so it's not gonna exist.
No, it's that weird, like, intermediary era where, like, we wanted mass-produced things, but we didn't have machines for everything, so we just had people do the mass production, and it's just,
Mm.
ooh-wee.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a
yeah.
lot of work.
It'd be really nice though to own an completely handcrafted set of tiles, but
Oh, yeah, it's
probably
a
not,
really
eh?
cool thing, like, it's a really exciting thing to have, but, like, asking someone to make that, it's like, "Yeah, here's a couple $1,000 for the amount of work it's gonna take you to do it."
Mm. Like I'm really into hand embroidery, but and people don't make money selling that. You just can't. If you think a piece is going to take you a month, people just aren't going to pay you
Yeah,
what it's
and again,
worth.
I think it gives a lot more weight to when you go to, like, museums and stuff, and you see, like, the objects people had, the cherished objects people had,
Mm,
and, like, how hard those were to make and to get. And now mass
mm,
production makes so many of those things very easy.
mm.
Um, well, you'd buy, again, like,
Yeah.
Karen was saying, like, way back when in Hong Kong, if you didn't have mahjong tiles, people wouldn't come over. But you
Mm.
think about a car, right? A car, if I want to buy a fancy car, I'm going to spend 60 to $80,000 on that car.
It's probably quite a cheap car these days, anyway, Dave. To be honest.
I can buy a cheap car, but even a cheap car is going to cost about as much as I would imagine it would be reasonable. I mean, unless I get a real
Mm,
beater for like $100. Now it's a used car, right? If I want a
mm.
new cheap car, I'm going to pay a couple $1,000s at least, right?
Oh, yeah, quite a lot. But yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like there's no
I mean,
avoiding that.
I mean, the thing is, I guess the price was pushed down as well by the fact you had lots and lots of people handcrafting everything, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was, but they still had to be paid to live. But getting your set of mahjong tiles in that era was probably something you'd save up for. You'd
Mm.
be like, I better save up and get my set of mahjong tiles.
Oh, wow, a
Was
Fabergé
that
is big, but I
Fabergé?
didn't know about a Fabergé. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. The one other observation I had there, because there was a lot of the Mahjong, the NMJL ladies
Mm,
who came to and it was really interesting to me that to Mahjong actually wasn't just about the game. Like so I think Reach Mahjong were very much about the game and the competition, right? People in the community about playing and competing.
mm.
the NMJL ladies, it's much more about socializing, and they're also very focused on the art of the sets themselves. Like lots of them are set collectors. Lots of them would, so Dave was showing off his automatic table that like dealt the hands and stuff. And so many of the comments were like, oh, but I wouldn't be able to play with my set anymore. Like they'd
Yeah, yeah,
gone to
yeah.
the effort of finding a set that they really resonated with, they really liked, and they wanted to play with their set. I just don't think you get that from Ichi Mahjong players. Like a few people, I've heard that they've bought an expensive set and they really like it. However, most of us, a set's a set. You just use it, right?
I'm in that weird middle ground where it's like I'd love to get a set that I really like. There's some sets I've seen that I really want to get, but then I don't want to play with it because I don't want to like ruin it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was just and the way the American Mahjong ladies were interacting with the game was very different from how I see the Ichi Mahjong community. And I'm not sure if that's because NMJL are basically, that's another weird situation, right? They don't have any of the media that Ichi Mahjong does. They don't have an M League. They don't have any of these other things. But they do have someone selling them the game every year. So that's an interesting dynamic for
WRC
me.
card, WRC card. Let's do
WRC
it.
card.
WRC card every year. Got to spend $15 for your WRC card. Manhattan Crash Course when? Oh, that's good. That's a hot one for Gemma. Manhattan Crash Course
Oh,
when?
Dave. Yeah. I mean, it's an idea. So that was the other thing is Dave Sparrow's Nest is fucking amazing. Like really far better than I thought.
See, the
Dave pulled
thing,
it out of the
the
hat.
subtext here is when I just told her about it, she was like, "That's probably garbage." But then
I
when
did
she
not.
got there, she was like, "No, it's actually cool. Holy crap!"
No, I didn't think it was garbage. It's just, it's very difficult to understand how the vibe of a place would be, right?
Mhm.
I think that Karen's artwork has really
I love having that
brought it
up.
together.
I love having that up. It really helps a
I
lot.
fixed one corner of the place that wasn't working for me, so that's perfect now.
True.
But no, I mean, I'm sure it's not like that every night. But I was there on one night, and there are just people coming in the door and sitting down and playing mahjong. It was so much more like Japan than any other club that I've seen outside of Japan.
Mm.
And I know it's early days and it's going to be still stressful and it's going to, I mean, I guess, and sort of, I didn't expect it to be that good that quick, right? I don't know. But yeah, the tile painting was, no, okay, we need to do a crash course.
What friendship isn't enough?
It's
Oh,
really good there though. And then Dave made me eat Taco Bell, which I wasn't so
I
hot
did make
for.
her Taco Bell. She complained it was all very mushy, which I thought was kind of funny.
um, but yeah,
Well, thank you,
it's a
Troll.
Western, exactly.
I do. At this point, I really feel like within New York, within the scope we're at, like there are legs. Like this is something that
It's
can actually make it that people are interested in doing and people appreciate having, and I think it's a good feeling.
It's also super cheap. It's $5 an hour per person. It's so cheap.
Cheap.
I thought that was you wouldn't get it that cheap in Japan for sure.
You would now with the
Oh,
exchange
now
rate
the
the way
yen,
it
and now the
is.
yen is like no money. Maybe true.
No, the way it is
Maybe
now,
that's
I'll just
another
walk
reason.
into a parlor and be like, "Oh, I'll take the place."
But
You
that's
know, I mean,
Dave.
you know,
Okay.
is that a good investment? Should I invest in a parlor in Japan?
It's not the worst idea.
Let's talk about this later.
It's not the worst
Let's
idea
talk
I've
about this
heard.
later.
Oh no. No, but we do need a crash course. Lots of people have
We
asked
do.
about it. I mean, there's just the logistics at the moment. The world is so different again.
Every other.
And I don't know whether it's because I've changed. Um, or because Crash Course had a momentum, right? And then that COVID killed so
COVID.
much momentum.
But I think there's a lot of interest. I think we'd see a lot of interest if we could set a date. I
Yeah.
bet I bet we'd fill up, especially here in America. There's so many Americans. There's so much American interest.
I mean, seeing the place makes it much easier now because now I can envisage it, right?
Yeah, you can
When it
envision
was,
how it would
yeah.
work and what it would be like.
I mean, it would be much like how we did it in the JPML dojo.
Yeah,
We wouldn't have, so that makes it easier, right? Because I think
yeah.
before I was like, I can't. I'm one of those very visual persons. When I'm
Mm.
planning, I need to be able to see in
No,
my
I think
mind's
I
eye.
think we can offer a very similar experience in terms of at least how it's laid out physically. Obviously, we can't offer being in Japan as part of that experience. You
No,
got to be in New York with lots
yeah,
of Japanese food around. You're 2 block north of K Town. There's a hot pot place across the street just opened up. Was a little weird, pretty good. but hopefully they mellow out. They just kept asking us how everything was, like aggressively, because they just opened up and they really wanted feedback. And I was like, it's good, but it would be better if you stopped asking how everything is
Shut
in like
up.
every 2 minutes. But like they're a new place. I get it, so it's good. But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, you don't get to
Yeah,
go into Japan
so we
experience.
need to get that moving, and I guess we just need to put dates in the diary and work out who
Yeah, who's cool enough to come to
and
New
who
York to
will
hang out?
translate and stuff.
Who wants to come translate?
Yeah, because I don't think after these 3 years of COVID or whatever, 4 years now, I just don't think my Japanese is hot enough anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. I
How
would
are you going to
probably
teach
have
me? I got
to,
to learn my Japanese. I got to do my Japanese for
but
today.
that level of Japanese is fine. But
Oh
when
wow,
you're
thank you.
no, 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 like general conversation, but when you're
No, no, I get it. I get it.
translating a presentation, it's a different vibe again, right?
Yeah,
Interpreting is always a different vibe.
yeah.
Like I guess I managed. To be fair, I managed to. We were there in 2023. I managed to be in Japan then, but I was only going one way from Japanese to English, and I can understand it entirely. It's the doing it back that's now a challenge for me. It's all right. JPML, every time I talk to them, comment about how crap my Japanese is now,
Hmm. Hmm.
just to make me feel
Hmm.
really good and hot about myself. So,
Hmm. Well, I also got to get
but
you that typed up proposal for another thing.
yeah. So
Um,
I mean, it's New York. The worst that happens is we hire an interpreter.
that's true. Like absolute worst cases, we can get someone there. I'm sure there is someone in New York who can interpret. There might even be people who would straight up volunteer from some
I
of the
think
local
the
communities. So,
Japanese to English, I think there's plenty of people in the in the Mahjong community who do it.
mm,
The English to Japanese, it's always a bit tricky to make sure you're getting people understand. I don't know. It's always anyway. We can talk about that. Yes, thank you, Zaps. We'll do it. We'll set a date.
we'll do
I
it.
don't know. Is December a good time? You're not going to collapse in a big earthquake, are you, Manhattan?
December,
Because
the
that would be
earthquake
sad.
happened. There's not going to be another earthquake for like 14 years. We get one every 14. Holy
Oh,
crap,
well
was that
done.
ever weird?
Yeah.
Um,
Well done, Dave. You jinxed it now.
yeah, no, we were actually in that meeting together, and you must have looked at me and saw me being like, because I'm like looking around trying to
Yeah.
figure out what the heck is going on. Um,
But yeah, a professional translator would
Possibly.
need a briefing on the Richa jargon, but I could do that. That's easy. That's not a difficult thing, to be honest. So it's not a translator you're looking for; it's an interpreter. And any interpreter worth their salt would, yeah. So when I did interpret,
Uh,
I'd always
do we have Gemma's big
get the
mahjong game?
theme
I
and
can pull that
stuff.
up while we finish chatting. We should do at least half
What's
actual
my
mahjong.
big mahjong
I
game?
don't know. You said you played in the league and won big
Oh
games.
no, I said I didn't want to share it because oh my god, like so. I, the luck just came at me aggressively and it wouldn't stop for 2 games. So I think, and Chirag can correct me if I'm wrong, I went from like 50K in the league on the whole
More than
rankings
yes.
to 150K. Like it was that crazy. Like I just jumped up to the, not the
That
top
sounds
top,
like a
but
great
nearest the
game to
top.
watch. It'll
But
be a game where Gemma doesn't fold.
I didn't fold. I don't think I folded once. But and I felt really bad for people because I knew I was on the head game, right? There was nothing I could do wrong. and
mm,
and that made everyone else probably play in a way that was not optimal
mm.
because it was just weird. It was a really weird vibe.
No, I know that. I know that vibe though. That vibe where like everything is just happening for you, and then everyone's looking at you, being like, "Wow, everything's just happening for you," and then they
Yeah,
play more defensively because they're like, "Well, it's sure not happening for me," and like it
yeah,
does really get in everyone's head.
yes, yeah.
And
I'd won the mental game. I was at the top of it, whether I deserved it or not. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Right, I can pull up one of them if you like.
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's watch Gemma do good. I'm happy to
Mm.
watch a game where it's Gemma do good. And then yeah, let's get a date. Let's get a date put together. Not like on stream per se, but like let's get a date put together. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. I think at this point, Sparrow's just gonna stick around. We're gonna do this. Let's host this class. It's gonna be awesome. I'll just quit my job
Yeah, you haven't
and
got a job at the moment. You're
I'm
going to quit
getting
the job you've
closer to
not even
getting a job.
started. But you're going to
I'm
accept the offer
inching.
and be
I'm
like, do you know what? I quit.
squirking my way closer to getting a job. Yeah, then I'll just be like, well, thanks for the offer.
There you go. I sent you a link.
All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got.
I mean, I'm not proud, I guess, of this because I know that a lot of it was luck.
It's not about
Um,
being. But you know what? No, there's some pride to be taken. You can say like I had the wind behind me,
I did have the wind
but the
behind
other
me.
half of having the wind behind you is taking good advantage of it and turning it into
Uh,
victory because you can take the
I
wind
think
behind you and turn it into crap.
okay. So what I was winning at wasn't mahjong skill. What I was winning at was the mental game. I knew where I was in everyone else's heads. and I played to that.
Wait, in the secret
I
yard.
didn't get to see the secret New York tunnels.
I was going to say, hold on, hold
I
on.
did. Do you know, I did go to see a tenement though. Dave took me on this historic tenement tour that was super good. And if you go to New York, you should definitely do that.
Except for
Don't
those
do like,
Italians who can't take migration seriously. They all went back.
yeah, so yeah. But it was really interesting. So if you go to New York, don't do the Empire State Building.
You can
It's
do the
just a
Empire
tall
State
building.
Building. It's cool, but it is just a tall building. You're right. You're just going to go to the top of a tall building and be like, oh boy, neat.
I was educated on a lot of things that I never knew about. It was really informative, and I'm still thinking about it a week later about how informed I was.
It's true. It's true. She learned a lot about why everyone was like, Europe sucks, and came to America.
Oh my God. So I was expecting to see an absolute hovel, and like that building was there since like 1890 or something, and they had running water and gas lamps. And I'm like, dude, the cottage 2 doors down didn't get running water and gas lamps until like 10 years ago. So
I think
there's a,
what made it challenging, and maybe this is a very American perspective, is how there were huge, enormous numbers of people crammed into those buildings.
but I think
Um,
so. So you've been to my house. Mine's a 2 up, 2 down. And in, was it 1910, they had 12 people living in this building. Like, I feel like cramped conditions is something we look back and everyone looks back into the past. Everyone's living cramped conditions, regardless of whether in New York or whether you were in London. Everyone's crammed in.
except in America, where we have all this space, right? We have all this, and so like
Yeah.
within a generation or two of America, the generation that grew up in America at the time of those tenement houses was growing up in a land where you had so much open room. Everyone had
Yeah.
a house and land
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
space,
Yeah.
and so looking back on those really
In
cramped
that
places, it's weird
perspective.
to them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
weird to them. They're like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And those streets are just full of people every day,
That
just
was, that was
absolutely
fascinating. Like,
full.
because we were in the, is it East Village? Am I saying this right? So
We're on
like,
the Lower East Side. We're a little south of the East Village.
okay. But anyway, so that area, that particular area, they were saying, well, in modern times, there's 100,000 people. But at the time of the tenement was 250,000 people.
Yeah,
And I can't even imagine like how, like New York's busy anyway. Like if they're cramming themselves that much in, I mean,
yeah.
damn.
It's just nuts.
Yeah.
And like
Anyway,
it,
you should go on the tenement tour, guys. I hard sell the tenement tour. It was amazing.
there are actually
Um,
so to give a little bit of color, there are a few different tenement tours
mm,
covering different groups of immigrants at different times. So when you go to their website, you can actually pick the one you're interested in. And we did the one about a Jewish family and an Eastern European Jewish family and an Italian family. And this is pre World War II, I
mm.
believe, is when they
Yeah,
moved to
because I went to
America.
the pre-World War one, didn't
Yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So they got
there's a
two
few different
buildings.
a few different focuses, a few different time periods. It's all on the website. So if you're interested, check it out. But it was really good. It was really informative. I thought it was a good time. Gift shop was
Mm.
cool. So what do we got here? Oh, we're west. Oh, this is nice. This is a good hand.
I know, right? So this is my opening, and you can see how the world went after that. Really,
Yeah, we're gonna call the west. We're gonna probably throw the ESO here.
I've got two Dora. So
Yeah, you got
nice.
two Dora. Okay, now we're just like maybe it's flush time. Who knows? Now we got three Dora. Okay. Ooh, but a dealer reach. Okay. What
I
are we
have
gonna do?
three Dora though. I have three Dora.
We just play. Okay, we ignore the dealer reach when we play because we got all the Dora.
It's so early as well, and there's no tile in there that looks particular. I mean, I guess I could throw the Wests, but no, I think an early reach like that, it's not really worth worrying too much about personally.
Jeez. All right, we're throwing. But sumo. All right. So it's not all Gemma's luck today.
No. But these were this is how I drew. Even if I didn't manage to get the hand to completion, that was the
Hmm.
kind of draw I just kept having.
Yeah, and that's a good. This is actually a really good fast reach. Reach, pin for
Yeah,
sumo. Good work, dealer.
yeah, it's good for them, but you know, as I said, it's not something you can really play around when it's that
No,
fast.
and you're right. You have enough value on the table. You know where all the Dora are. It's kind of like, all right, let's just do it.
Mm.
All right. So what do we get here? This doesn't look that awesome. Am I being lied to? This looks like a meh hand.
No, this is a meh hand. True.
One, two, three. Okay. Ipeko Chanta. We're throwing our nines. We don't even care. Now we're Ishanten, but it's gross.
This is a gross Shanten.
Dealer reach again, and we chase. Well, we chase with a safe throw. We chase on 9-man, which is not a bad chase, actually. 9-man, 4-pin.
Yeah.
What happens? Nope, dealer wins again. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of hype for this, but
Sorry,
So far, the
Dave.
dealer's
Sorry.
just winning.
Yeah.
Reach pin for
That.
door. All right. All right.
I think the person opposite, and I can't remember, I think they were doing really well as like they've done really well this entire league. So
Okay. Looks like a pin flush, maybe. Maybe. Getting there. All right. So now we're doing it. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm being hustled. Oh, this is nice. All right. I like this.
yeah, right.
Okay. We just do it. Oh, now we're aiming for toy toy.
Yeah, gotten greedy.
A little greedy.
I'm not sure I should have done that, but hey ho.
Oh, wow. And again, sneaked out from under you with Hakudora. All right. All
I'm
right.
sorry, Dave. It gets exciting, I promise
It's
you.
not that exciting. It's
I'm sorry, I'm like
double reach from a not you player. Not feeling this all the luck was in Gemma's court vibe here.
Okay, I don't know how I won now. Watching this beginning bit, obviously something changed dramatically, but it like Terrell backs me up. It got crazy.
All right, this is actually a really good hand coming together.
We say really good. It's not a very high scoring hand.
No, but it's coming together real fast. We're throwing whatever we want. The Dora is just wait, hold on. I'm sorry.
It is my perspective because I'm the new player.
I missed out on the part where this player threw Dora. I wasn't
Oh,
watching for that. Yeah, that's a pretty gutsy move. And then another Dora as drawn. They must feel real dumb for that. I don't know why they thought Dora. I'm very curious what they were doing that they threw Dora, but I'll look after the hand.
I'm pretty sure this is my perspective. I'm starting to worry now. So I don't think I've got a rank on mine. No, I haven't got a rank on mine. This is right. Okay, good. Continue.
Weird. Okay, we throw the 9. I guess the 9 is safe. I want to
Yeah,
throw the 4.
I'm
Okay, we're hedging. Although the 1 and the 7 are safe, the 4 is not that bad of a throw. But now we get Tenpai, and I guess we can reach on the Haku or the 8 man.
yeah. It's not exciting. It's not great, is it?
I mean, it's a valid chase, but it's rough.
Is it a valid chase on the dealer? I'm not sure it is.
And no one's going to throw Haku at this point.
It is aggressive. Thank you,
Oh,
Chirel.
it
That's
happens.
pretty aggressive.
Our lead player throws the Haku, and you get it. And then you flip 3 Dora.
And this is where the game changes. This, I think, is probably where.
Yeah, I agree this is aggressive, but at the same time, it's like, I could see just being like, I'm Tenpai. I got to do something. Let's do it. Let's just flip 3 Dora.
It's very aggressive, though, I
Now, what
think.
I
I'm
want to
not
see, though,
sure.
I want to see what's going on over here to get the Dora tossed. Sorry, anyone else who I'm inspecting.
Oh,
Huh.
no, you want to keep the door on.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing how throwing the Dora is a good move here. I probably would have thrown this Haku, actually, if anything.
Yeah, or if you want to keep the haku, cut the 1-2 bamboo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Assume you're going to be able to pawn the easts. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
if I throw a 7, you're going to have to call the 7 bamboo.
Where did
But
the 3
yeah.
pins end up? Did people end up holding all of them?
Yeah, you don't have to reveal. Yeah,
1, 1,
Zaps.
2.
I think it's hard to justify a reach there. I don't know what's going through my head. I should have.
Yeah, you push real hard.
Do you know what? And no, I probably do. I think the 4 pins were following me, right? Because I got so many in the first. I had 3 4 pins in the first round, and the second round I
Gemma's
had
occult
2 4
Mahjong.
pins, and then this time I had 3 4 pins again, and I was like, hey, maybe 4 pin just wants to give me a gift.
And they did.
I don't know. That's probably definitely what's going through my head. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but yeah,
Well,
I mean,
now you're the dealer.
it's partly probably as well like an over an overplay of my attitude that if it's a first turn reach, you should just ignore it because there's nothing you can do. If you've got value, just go.
Mm.
So really, the question there was whether I had value enough to reach. Probably not.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, what are we
I know
doing
if,
here?
if it's a double reach, it's you can't defend against that. It's just impossible.
Making some shapes.
I mean, saying this is not a great draw for a dealer, is it? And I've
No.
aggressively thrown those easts.
Yeah, you're holding out for this 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, well, I
There's
want
the
the
third
door, don't
east.
I?
Could have
Yeah.
had that double east.
I could have done, but I didn't.
And now you reach on just the Dora. Which, as
Yeah.
dealer, isn't the worst, but like,
That's classic Gemma, sorry. Yeah. I think I draw it. I think I draw it.
it's a shame you didn't keep those easts.
I mean, but I mean, dealer, I can't not reach it, right? This reach is very justifiable.
Oh, yeah. And you push everyone else off.
Yeah,
So, hey.
thanks. Yeah, okay, I didn't draw it. Okay.
I'm just going to see when this first east came into your hand. This is tough. Because you've got a lot of valid shapes here.
So I think probably in my head, I'd already decided I wanted a three-sided weight. I know I didn't get a three-sided weight in the end, but if I drew the 3-pin, I would have had a three-sided weight there. I
Yeah,
was also
that's what I'm
thinking,
saying. This is a valid shape
yeah,
here.
and I
This
was
is
also thinking
good. This is
one,
good.
two, three Sanshoku. So
Yeah. Yeah.
with that in my mind, I was just like, just throw it. It's not this is not where I'm driving.
That makes sense. I can accept that. That makes good sense. It's always easy to look back at what you drew and be like, oh, you
mm.
should have held that. Like whatever.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't think that Tanya like with the
I hate these
Dora where it
names.
was, like I'm not going to hold out for a 4 bamboo halfway through the game,
These
halfway
hands
through the
suck
hand,
because
sorry.
it's like south. No one wants to call that, but you will call
Yeah.
the dragon. All right.
Well, I mean, I can just go fast, right?
Yeah. 7
No, I
goes
mean,
away.
I wouldn't cut the 1 bamboo to keep the 3 bamboo pair. I just wouldn't. Not for the Dora. Just
2
no.
goes away. We get our souths.
Because I don't. If I draw
One,
the
two.
Dora, I don't want to have to throw it either. So it's a back defense as well.
We get a Dora, and then we aim towards maybe a
Oh, I remember
flush.
this one happening. This didn't end well for me.
I thought you had only good luck this game.
No, but this one should have been big, and it didn't happen. I think everyone's holding red dragons in their hand, if I remember right.
Right, now you're Tempai.
Like no one's going to throw the red dragons. It's
No, it's
just
not.
not
You're going to
coming.
draw it or not. Oh, no, they do. Our player left reaches on the
Oh,
red
they reach
dragon.
it. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And it's a double roan. Are we a Tamahane here?
No, it's double run, which was, I think, unnecessarily cruel.
Oof.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's the other red dragons. I mean, that's.
What were they doing? I'm going to look. It was a Sumo Kitty reach.
Yeah, so they so but I think because they decided they want to stay Dama, right? So the 4 bamboo isn't particularly notable, but then they knew if they threw the red dragon, everyone would know they're ready, right? So you have to reach, which I think is, if you're going to go for it, you're going to go for it.
Oh, I would have just folded here.
You would have folded.
Yeah. As much as it sucks, in my mind, to have to risk losing 3,000,
Mm.
the Dora dragon that has not come out all hand is too dangerous to do anything other than just fold.
Mm.
I mean, maybe what you do is you throw a 2-pin or a 9-pin or something and hope you can pong the 2-pin or some crap like that to get back to Tempai, but like,
But I think this player's got into a difficult position, right? They're feeling, they lost. They had a few bad beats already,
oh
and
yeah, but
they want to make something happen. And that's I mean, sometimes I win a smaller hand that maybe I shouldn't have pushed so hard just to sort of get get it flowing again. Hey, Mahjong Jen and your party of 12.
hey, welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah, again, I'm not trying to be personal, but I
No.
feel like at this point, if it's this point in the game and I'm in last and the dealer's called twice and a player to my left is called twice and they both have hands that can visibly easily be grabbing that last dragon, even on a
Mm.
pair weight, I'd be
Mm.
like, this tile is radioactive.
Bye bye,
Like
MP.
I can in no way
Oh, hi. 2 different things.
I can in no way throw it. Thank you for
Yeah.
following
I don't
Trisha
know, but then
Carl.
this is how the mental game of mahjong
Yeah,
happens, right? You
yeah.
start having those losses, and it becomes an increasingly difficult hole to claw yourself out of.
Yep.
I've been that player who's gotten just in this wrong mental state. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad place to be. And yeah, you make calls where you're like, I need to just push.
Mm,
And then that happens and then you get real sad. Now you've got all the points. What are we gonna do with
yeah.
them? Let's find out.
Now I don't have to do so much, right? I should just be able to relax a bit.
But you just got two easts and two norths and a hand that looked like another sick half flush. So
I mean,
my
it's
bet
fast. It's
is
fast. I don't think I'll go for half flush here. I can't remember, but I
you
don't
let a
think.
north go by and then you get the third east. But this also leaves you Ish on 10. So oh, this is gross.
Everyone hates Gemma. I told you. But that's why I said I don't think this is an obvious flush hand, to be honest, because a 1-4 weight is really nice.
Yeah, instead of the reach, you
I
just
do
do
I
the
need
one
I
four
don't need
weight.
to push I don't need to push a reach here.
But you would have drawn. It would have been great for you, actually. You would have been
Yeah.
tempi now.
I stay strong. I think this is still the right move.
I think no. I think it's a totally justifiable
Like
good
wait
move.
it like 1-4 pin on something that looks like a flush weight compared to a 5-man. No, it's fine. I
Face from
did the right
across,
thing.
and you sumo it.
Now, obviously, drawing your own tiles is the key to mahjong, and
Yep.
that's the way to play. If anyone is
Another
concerned
relay
about
mangan
strategy,
sumo. No, I,
yeah.
I I agree. The two-sided 1-4 weight is perfectly good.
I
Pushing
think a
it
lot
for
of
the
people though would
flush.
push that into a flush though, where they don't really need to. I mean, I don't think you need to push this into a flush. And I think I don't want to. Again, I don't want to belittle anyone, but I often find that's the sort of thing I see when people are moving from the beginner to the intermediate is
Hmm.
aggressive flush pushes.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like if you don't need it, you can take the time to finesse it.
Mm,
That would be why I would probably push this to a flush because I'd be like, I don't need this. And on top of I don't need this, I have these three norths in my hand and
mm.
three easts.
Oh,
So
it's an easy one to throw,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I
So
think.
half my hand is foldable, so then it's worth just aiming for massive or bust in my mind.
Mm,
Because um I have the time and I don't have a desperate need. If I was not way out in first, I could easily
mm,
have been like, I would definitely reach this exactly like this because it's ready. It's at least three
uh-huh.
Han, if not four. Like it's great. Um,
I I guess if someone wants to give, what's my start, I like always knowing where I want my weight to be.
hmm.
And a 1-4 weight is just many times better than noodling around trying to get yourself into a flush here. And yeah, if I'd have, yeah, you're
Well,
right. I'd
except
have,
except for points, but you don't need the points.
I don't need the points.
But that's why I'd
Yeah.
almost just
Oh,
be
if I,
like,
if I was if I was in a situation where I needed points, yes, of course, I have to push for a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
flush. But I think that people sometimes push for a flush because a flush isn't always worth that much anyway.
No, like a called flush here is just
Yeah.
manga. I
Yeah.
mean, manga's good, not like manga's not good, but it's
Yeah.
just as much as its reach, basically, because the reach is already 3 and 50 on a roan,
Mm.
which like is 3 and 50 already manga? 200, 400, 800, 1600.
60, no,
Yeah, so it's not quite
it's not quite, no.
9600 points though. That's fine. Um,
And for the risk of then never seeing another man tile the entire game, and we've all been there.
yeah, yeah.
It's a fifth turn tempi.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's not bad.
I mean, the real question is, do I even need to bother reaching it? Was reaching it a bad move and mean that I'm not going to get the one pin that I'm really looking for? That's probably the conversation we should be having, is whether we should reach.
Hmm.
And again,
Oh,
because I felt like I was winning the head game, I was like, fine, if I reach, hopefully everyone's gonna move around
Dora
me.
gets thrown by this
Or they
player
don't, yeah, or they don't.
into your reach. Dora gets thrown. They must just be in that situation of like, I'm in last place. I got to do something
Yeah,
or
and
nothing.
and they're below the zero, which that's a really tough spot to play. It's a
Yeah.
really tough spot to play.
All right. Well, you did
Mm.
it. Another
Yeah.
dealer
It's
Mangan.
Sumo Ichi, two. Yeah. Do I flip anything? No, I don't flip anything. Anyway, yeah. So,
Oh yeah, JKRL final set of the league. Rules are EMA rules.
yeah.
There's no open Tanya, right?
There's open Tanya now, man.
Oh, you've evolved.
We've evolved. We evolved after the 2014 WRC. It made a big impact. I cruise ship, Carl. I have also been beaten. I've been beating despite winning Yakuman and still managed to piss that lead away. There's always a way
Oh
to
yeah,
lose
you
it
never
all.
know what's gonna happen. It's not enough. I mean, it's good. It's obviously good, but it's
Yeah,
not
and
enough.
yeah, it's a great way to scare off other players. Although these players don't seem to be too scared of me at the moment. So
No.
maybe I didn't judge it very well,
Well, they
but
just want you to stop being the dealer.
yeah, who can blame them?
Oh, you dealt into West.
Yeah, but again, I can afford to throw into, and this is how I lose all my points. I can afford to throw into a few things now,
Yeah, it's all right.
giving myself some
Pushed off the
space.
deal. All right. And these are not great hands. I'm not seeing this famed Gemma super luck.
That's a huge lead.
No, you've built up a huge lead, but you're just like everything was going. You just won a few good hands,
I mean,
which is
some
good.
great hands, some
Yeah,
great
yeah,
hands
yeah.
I've
But I'm
won
not
here.
seeing like overarching mega luck. I'm just seeing you did good. Kokshi.
No, no, no,
No.
no, Kokshi. I rarely go for Kokshi. I probably should go for it more often than I do.
All right. Second place is
Sorry,
tired of
Kaya.
this and just wants to get out of here.
Yeah, but I mean, they've got Ponadora. There's Mangan right there.
Yeah. All right. Oh man, that sucks. Oh
Mm.
no. Oh, it's the old Dave special. It's
It's
Sanshoku.
Sanshoku Chanta. I mean, that's a beautiful
Sanshoku
hand.
Chanta. I can actually read some of Sanshoku now. That's cute.
Dave's learning Japanese at the moment, and every now
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
his little brain turns on. He
I'm
I
like,
can
oh, I
see it.
recognize that. Three color, same. I'm assuming that's sequence or straight. Um,
Yeah. So three color, same order, same sequence. Yeah.
mm, neat. Ah, it's Sanshoku Chanta Haku Dora 3, which is a Hanemon hit. I feel bad for Bisan.
No.
I feel legit
B-San.
bad for Bisan.
B-San did not, and then once you're in that, I said, I'll repeat it. Once you're in that spot, once you're in that hole,
There's
pouring your
nothing you
way
can
out
do.
is
Yeah.
so it's impossible. And then, of course, every time you're in that hole, all you get handed are these crappy little Reachy Pin through Nomi hands, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, was this a fold? Like, could Bisan even fold? Um, I don't necessarily fault Bisan for this throw. Although, with so many edge tiles out, maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, these are the hands that I do sometimes think maybe you should push flush.
Yeah,
because
there's that. There's also the
because
fact that based on the shape,
uh,
you're not actually advancing the hand by holding the two.
maybe. I mean, I'd keep the two, but I probably threw the 7-8 bamboo.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the seven's just come out and the eight is it's
Or
not a
I'd
full.
even chuck the Norths. Although North hasn't come out at all, so be a little wary
No,
about
I mean
that.
it's a full cabe. It's not a full cabe on the eight, but it's a pretty good cabe on the eight.
3 out of 4, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, see if I could sneak it around. Also, I'm surprised they threw the 7.
I think the so this is an interesting one. People are really good at spotting flushes, called flushes. People are very poor for some reason at spotting called sanshoku. Why? I don't know. Like it's the same information. You can see the 789, 789.
Yeah, like I'd be really worried about anything in the 7, 8, 9 zone. Although with a
See,
Haku, they can win on anything.
I'm glad you are, but I am one of the people who doesn't tend to see a chord Sanshoku, even though I should. Like, there's no reason not to. Um,
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. I wouldn't
it
call
is
that
rough.
like a straight up blunder. That's rough. All right, well now player cross is closer to you than ever.
It should be Chow, but again, I just say I think it's a blind spot in a lot of players. Yeah, I had that blind
Dora.
spot. Yeah, Sanchoku Dorfrey is not on their radar. Exactly. It's just not on their radar. So they're playing without seeing it.
1, 2, 3 Sanshoku, it looks like. Although we are Ishan-ten.
Lots of people, yeah. Sanchoku is like the
Oh,
big
interesting.
thing, right?
We don't take the Tenpai.
No, because I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 Sanchoku.
You're going to have to throw the Dora.
I'll work that out when I get
Oh,
there.
no! We got the wrong...
I got the wrong way.
And now we got a 3-6 Pinfu. Dama.
Yeah, because I'm still hoping for the Sanchoku.
Dealer reach. 5 so comes out so you can throw it. That's fine. It's also safe. 8. 7 you feel good about. South you don't feel good about. And so the 1-man comes out. Okay, so you've decided you're bailing. Another South leaves you back in Fruity Ten Tenpai. If you sumo this, I'm gonna
hate myself too if that helps.
And now you have the 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku option.
See?
Gemma.
See?
Okay.
I could do no wrong.
This is where...
Is this the goods, Dave? Is this the goods?
This is the goods. This is the goods. This is the exact level of garbage idiot play.
Hey, Dave, this is my playstyle. This is all I've got.
This is just
typical me. This is typical me. Like I'm sitting there noodling around. Oh, look, I'm Furry 10. Oh, God, that person looks like they're strong. Fine, I'll fold. Oh, look, I'm a Sanshoku again. Never fear the Furry 10.
It's not even Pinfu.
Never fear the Furry 10.
Just Menzen Sumo Sanshoku.
Oh, just Menzen Sumo Sanshoku.
That's so gross. I love it. It's so gross.
Oh, sorry, Chirel. I did overtake you in the league. Yeah, you've been strong. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you were to say a hand that was typical of my playstyle, that's it. That's sort of noodling around. Furry 10 Sumo Sanshoku nonsense. But it's that moving around that I like to do a lot. I don't know whether it's a strength or a weakness. And I think I do it when I shouldn't. And I don't do it when I should.
Maybe. Oh, I'm actually a little surprised here that you didn't look at the 7, 8, 9 Sanshoku after drawing the 7. Because I feel like this has some Sanshoku vibes here.
Yeah, it does, but I'm
then
very
you get
much...
the 8 and you whiff it.
I'm very much in a vibe here of I've got 2 Dora.
Oh, there's your 70. There we go. You had it.
I know, I had it, didn't I?
You had it.
That sucks, Gemma. I
Now
think
you get another 7.
About this one as well.
It's actually not so bad.
Yeah.
But you're not drawing anything that's like good. Interesting. Drop the 9 for the 5. I guess we could Tanya this out if we really wanted to.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going now, is that I'm going to happily aggressively call this.
Oh, interesting. We do that to get the 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, but not to hold the 5 as the pair.
No, I've got other pair opportunities here.
9 so comes out. 1 pin comes out. It's safe.
I mean, here, I hope I'm not
3 so comes out. I guess we're technically Ishan-ten on Chitoi.
Right, so the 3 so comes out. Well, I'm folding now, right? Because I can see
the 3 so has come. No, it hasn't come out.
No, I can see 3 4 so's. I can see 4 2 so's. I can only see 1 5 so. You're right, but yeah.
All right, we got a sumo, but it's just reach sumo. That's it.
Yeah, but they're dealer. It's great.
Oh yeah, they're dealer. They got to hold the deal. Yeah. Good. They made their mark. They get to keep going. No, that's really important. Yeah. Ugh. Now we have our double south hand.
B needed a win, right?
Call. B did need a win. And good for them for getting something. And again, they're dealer, right? Like they can just hold now and be happy.
It was Suji as well. Yeah, with the blockers. I feel like, yeah, so not Poppy. I definitely prefer looking at the blockers and then assessing the Suji. The blockers are always the first. The sort of Kabe wall or whatever we're calling it is always my first go-to when I'm trying to assess. Because it just gives you safer options.
This is a race to the finish here. You didn't chi the 6 for Tenpai.
Yeah, but it'd be I guess 1-4 is not a bad Tenpai. I obviously think I can get a better Tenpai. I'm
Apparently.
not sure what that better Tenpai looks like. So if I get the 8 bamboo, I'm
Well, you
back
just
in
got it.
Fairy
You got
Tale
on the
Happy Land.
1-6, the 1-6
Oh,
Tenpai.
that's a much better Tenpai. Oh no, Gemma, you did the smart thing. That's a better Tenpai than 1-4.
Well, our dealer wins again. Beat you to the punch. For another tiny hand, but again, they get to keep going. They seem to be really desperately trying to just keep this going at all costs, which
Yeah.
this is their time to do it.
They just need to keep. They can keep going until they get a good draw, some good draw. Then they can go,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Two. All right, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. You're actually Ishan 10 here.
Yeah, and I really want that 6-9 weight,
Apparently.
but I don't.
Jesus. All right, well, you still have 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. Or you have 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you still have
I'm
it.
Ishan 10. I'm Ishan
You're
10.
back to Ishan 10. Now, what does Gemma do? Yes,
I'm full flush.
yes, yes. She pushes it as hard as she can.
Well, now I only have to call once, and I'm Tenpai.
Yeah, calls into it. 4-pin weight right now.
Yeah.
We're just playing it.
This is a full flush. That's a totally different ball game.
It's true that it is a full flush, which is worth a lot more. Jesus. Nothing we want is coming out.
But nothing particularly dangerous is coming out either.
No, it's a sumo on the reach. On the force, so it's a 1-4 weight. Oh, and they flip 3 Dora.
And now this is a big change, right?
Yeah, it's 56 to 64. Our
Yeah.
poor dealer gets hit with the brunt of it, of course, which really
Mm.
sucks. How far did they get? Like, what were they doing?
I mean, look at all those Dora. That's, yeah.
4, 4, 5, 6, 7. They were Ishan 10. They were just waiting.
It's a good Ishan 10.
Yeah. They were just hoping to get somewhere. Nothing they could have done. Like,
No,
again,
you look at
all
that
this is
discard
just
pool.
like.
What can you do?
I mean, if I
It
take all
just
these tiles,
sucks.
I got my 3, 4, 5 right here, and I'm good. But you don't know that. Like you don't know that at the time. You sit
It's
there.
just summed out. I mean, that just sucks. Yeah, 8-man, good.
Why 8-man?
Because you want to lock in your Dora usage. Oh no, it's not Dora. Sorry, I'm thinking about the other Dora.
Yeah.
Well, no, because they're locking in the 6-9 weight. That's where they want to build their weight.
Yeah, I guess.
And then they could get the straight with the 9-pin if they're lucky. It's
hard.
Yeah.
Ugh. So now it's South 3, and they are at negative 20K. Good lord.
Yeah, I know. It was
What
really
a devastating game.
It was tough. It was really tough for B-Sam.
Dealing into that chun was the end for them.
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? In this game, it's that one arrow which doesn't seem that grotesque can just turn into a devastating blow for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, it's mentally devastating and it's mechanically devastating.
Hmm.
So now they have a third turn reach. So what are you doing? You're just gonna stay. Oh god, and a chase from the player across.
Now, see, I'm going to be aggressive here because
No, you're
I'm worried
folding.
about the. Am I? Well, I'm worried about the player across, right? Because they are so close to me now. You say I'm folding. I'm still fairly live here.
Yeah, you just threw out a 1, 2, 3. I don't know why you did that then.
Because I wanted to not. I wanted to noodle. I was noodling. This is a noodle.
But you could have
matter.
been Tenpai.
Right, but I'd have had to throw a dangerous tile to be Tenpai,
Yeah.
right? What does they? Yeah, that's the issue. I can.
Yeah, you can't throw any of these.
It's better. I can't lose the points to him. I can lose the points to B-san. I cannot lose the points to A-san.
So this is a little bit rude in that this is like a 1 Han, 1 in 40 bump. I guess
What was that discard pile looking like again? Yeah. Yeah. You can see the 4 pins come down. You can see 3 2 pins. I mean, it's not an obvious two-sided weight discard pool from Asan, but still.
And I feel like this was a mistake for Bison.
Well, B-Sun's reachy, so
No,
they
but
can only make
Bison's reach.
mistakes.
Bison should have reached on 8, so.
Oh, yeah,
Because Itsu is just worth more than the additional Dora you'd have to get to win it like this.
yeah,
And 8-so gives anyone some
yeah,
vague
and the
idea
five
that the 5-so might come out. Again, it's
yeah,
half Suji at least, but so it at least
yeah.
gives you
Oh,
some push.
Gemma doesn't believe in half Suji. But yes,
Well,
I mean, in the end, at the 7th, the Dora is less likely to come out than a non-Dora.
yeah, yeah. And as I said, when you know how I talk about Suji, it gives people the clue that the 5-8 weight is not your weight. Well, the fact that the 5-8 weight is not your weight, which is more than absolutely zero push to make the 5 come out. No guarantee. But like it's better than the 1, which in no way gives any push to throw the Dora for anyone who's not going to be throwing it anyway because it's the Dora.
It's difficult. It's really difficult when you're in that hole there.
I also hate Itsu never happens for me. So yeah, this ends up being a tiny little 1-han to push it into South 4, and now what do we do?
Now we're playing a game because they got 5 9 6. Apart from for some reason 10 hole doesn't make the 9 obvious when you're looking at it upside down.
Yeah, that's true. It looks like 9 6.
Oh, it doesn't. Every time it screws my brain up. It looks like 5 6 9 if you're just glancing at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're already real close to Tenpai here.
No, I have to go fast, right? So
yeah, you're just moving.
I'm just gonna. It's gonna be a Tanya if I have to.
Yeah. You're Ishan 10 on this Tanya. You whiffed your Tenpai. That's okay. You'll pong it. You'll be ready on the 6-man. Just hang out. Oh no, but South wins it.
It's not big enough, though, I don't think, for them to win, right?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Again, Sancho Guchanta, I'm hyped for it. I love it.
To be fair, Asan was really high up in the rankings, so they actually just needed to. Second place was fine for them to keep their position in the rankings, I think. Yeah, even a huge second place, right? A huge second place for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's like a plus 35 second place about. Like, jeez.
I mean, they're not going to lose their second place, I guess, is the argument. So why not shoot it first? Is the argument, right? And probably if I was in Asan's position, I wouldn't call and I'd try to go for the closed Sanshoku Chanta. Because it's the last game, right? It's the last game. Maybe, although I'm already very high up in the rankings, maybe I can get to the top of the rankings.
60k second is more than some first places. Like 60k second is pretty darn good.
Yeah, Aqua Estimates, apparently the second place in the rankings was a long way off. Yeah, okay. And I think everyone was fairly exhausted. I was exhausted by the end of this. Like you're looking at it now, but
this
I think
is a long game.
I think it was a 15-minute hand-chan, and I think yeah. Look at all those hands. That is
16
a lot of
hands. So there were a lot of continuances.
So it's basically 2 hand-chans. I think everyone is exhausted by this point, and that's the other thing, right? You have to have stamina to play this game. And we're all playing late at night, and I think that's been a challenge for some of the better players. Is games starting at 8 in the evening. Certainly some players who I'd expect to have done better have not, and I think that's primarily because they're playing late at night. I'm not doing so well playing late at night. There was one set that I got to play during the day because it just worked out for people, and I definitely felt more on my game. If I had my way, we'd all have to play our hand-chan at 7 in the morning because that's when I'm at my brightest. But apparently,
there were a lot of like.
So no, Pop, this is from the Janken Run League, which is basically the UK version of the American Ricci Mahjong League.
A lot of big hits.
Yeah, Chirella, but the thing is, people have to work, right? Like,
I guess I'm sorry, there were less than 1, 2, 3.
Most people have jobs, right? Most people have to be in the office at 9. For me, I'd be happy to play before work, but then I'm a freelancer, so I can push my work till 10 or 11. I don't have to commute. But yeah, As you get older, you start to learn your type. Like, I think Dave is not a morning person, but I am definitely that person who needs to get up,
No, I'm for sure
get my
not a
work
morning
done early.
person.
Right? It's just Jen as well. Jen is not a morning person. She's worse than you. She's aggressively not a morning person. Like, her output at night is just significantly better, but I start to fade. I need to be up in the morning and doing it. I like the morning light. I like getting my exercise in. Yeah, but and this is again, if you're playing the ladder, if you're playing a run or 10 hole or Mahjong Solo or wherever else, and you know when you're playing best, just play that time. Like, don't bother with the other times. Otherwise you're going to lose your own head game, right? You'll start playing poorly, and then that'll drag in to all of your games.
Mm, mm.
Mm.
It's tough times.
But then I guess the other challenge is, if you're going to competitive events, in the end, you're going to be playing from 8 in the morning till 7 at night for some of these tournaments, right? I mean, some of these tournaments are cramming 5 Hanchan in a day, and that's a lot of Hanchan. You have to be fit, like physically fit. It's not enough just to have like sat at your computer and played mahjong all day for the previous 2 weeks. You need to be able to sit in that chair with the back pain that inevitably comes with sitting in the chair and
I never
keep
get
your
back pain. I don't know. It never bothers me.
oh, I get a lot of back pain. But okay, but you've got to be able to stay awake and stay bright without, because if you stop, like, chugging caffeine, your energy drinks, you're also not going to be playing very
Oh yeah,
well,
that's
in
not
my
going to help you
opinion.
very well. That's not going to help you very well. It'll give you a
Yeah.
boost for a bit, and then you'll like,
Yeah, it'll make you feel better. Yeah.
yeah, and then it'll really start hurting.
See, I mean, I don't know, 5 real life Hanchan, it's a lot. I mean, even the Japanese, when they have to play 5 real life Hanchan at WRC, complain. That's a lot, especially with the hand shuffles, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Um,
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm thinking about worrying about for this WRC is like people are going to be exposed to like a level of play intensity they're not used to.
mm. And they're going to have jet lag. And this is, my goal obviously is always to have a non-Japanese world champion. We almost got there in Vienna. We were so close. However, the Europeans were on their own turf. Like the
Mm,
maximum, I think they were all playing on. I think both of them were on Central European time anyway. They came from areas for Central European time, so they were on their time zone. They weren't suffering jet lag. But when we go to Japan, we're flying the worst way, right? The Europeans at least are flying the worst way. They're flying east. There's going to be a lot of jet lag.
oh yeah, it's going to be pretty rough.
So Shirel says, shill, shill, shill. If you're UK or UK adjacent and want interested in joining our casual online league, yes, we are very, very chill. Australian Reach, it's Australian. The American Reach Mahjong League is a bit more I don't know what the word is. A bit more serious than us, because you can get promoted and demoted, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we're very friendly. Everyone's very friendly. Don't think, And luckily, I've been really heartened to see some people saying they've learned a lot from the league. Yeah, thanks, Granny. Yeah, it's all Chiral's. All Chiral's doing. I think people have learned a lot from having that, because there's also people who you don't play with often. Like, even though we sit on the same Discord server, I don't think we just play within ourselves very much. So I'm meeting people who play totally different from what I'm used to, because I'm usually playing on Ron with the Japanese early in the morning, right? So whatever their time is. So I'm seeing a specific type of play constantly. So then playing
Mm.
in the UK league, I'm seeing a different kind of play, and that's really helped me kind of hone myself. Yeah, no, Pop, just yeah. I'm gonna fly there at least 2 weeks before I get over the jet lag. I think last time I flew there, Dave was with me. I went for like 8 days, right?
I was gonna say when do we need to get there? Do we want to plan this for next year to know exactly when we want to be there and like
Well, yeah, yeah. If you're getting a job, you better start planning this in. But
yeah, I can work it in.
I was gonna go in at least 2 weeks early.
I gotta see if I want to go this year again if that's useful. Anyway,
No, so no, Pop. I couldn't get the time off work, so I'm not going to the Netherlands. I did actually email them to take my name off the registration list.
oh no.
I know it really sucked, and yeah, this is the problem though for the Europe at the moment, is that as soon as you see an event and you're interested in going, you have to register, because
Mm,
the events are filling up like crazy.
yeah, same here
But
in the
then,
U.S.
but then. But then the organizers are having this nasty problem of then, okay, I register and then I go and ask if I can have that day off, or the two
Right. Oh,
days
and
off I
then
need.
half your registrants are like question marks
Yeah,
until they figure out whether they can
yeah,
actually make the plans
exactly.
to
So,
be
I
there.
mean, someone commented that the Cologne event had a lot of attrition because people drop. And I wanted to go to the Cologne event as well, but in the end, I was, because I'd taken the time off to go to New York, I didn't get the time off approved for Cologne. And then, yeah, so then organizers are in a hellish situation where they're dealing with all these, they're having to handle wait lists basically, which is something it sounds good, but I think it's a lot of extra work for the organizers. And I feel really bad deregistering. I think it's a shitty thing to do. But what can you do? I don't. And I was kind of hoping that I could qualify for Valencia, the European Championship in Valencia in December this year, but I'm not going to make that either now. It's just really sucky. I know. It's definitely a Linkin Park song written about my state of mind.
Quite possibly.
No, they've got an event in Cork. Does anyone else need to, yeah, exactly. Does anyone else need to show their event or their league? Just show now. But yeah, the Cork event, I heard an American that was really enjoying the Irish one or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. So most EMA tournaments they basically, unless you pay, you're not fully registered, but you usually get to see your name on the list before that, because people like to see the list fill up, right? They don't want to go to an event where they think only 5 people are going. Yeah. But it's difficult. It's difficult at the moment in Europe, I think. But it's good. We're having new problems, right? Upscaling. We're getting a lot more people going to events, and I think that some things will need to change to manage that. And that's just natural. I'm not freaking out about it. I don't think there's necessarily a problem. An organic solution will come, and we just got to wait for that.
I think so. I think it'll work itself out. Again, we're seeing a lot of changes, which is great.
Yeah.
And we'll work it out.
Yeah. And a lot of people are younger than me and have less responsibilities, which is great for them. I used to be one of those people. And when I was living in Frankfurt, you just jumped on the train. I'd do my work on a Friday. I'd go straight to the train station, get on the train. I could be in the Netherlands within an hour or two. Now it's probably a bit exciting, but you know what I mean? Like, I'd get on the train and I'd be there. And then I'd do the tournament and I could get back on a Sunday night. When you live in the UK, that's just impossible. I have to get to the airport. I have to do all the airport nonsense. Now that we're not in the EU anymore, I've got to go through the bloody border. It's just a pain in the arse nowadays. Yeah, and so there's always that kind of dynamic that a great majority of Europe is having a great time because they can easily travel to each of their countries. They just get in a car or they get on the train. Whereas the outsider countries, not on the continent, struggle more. Yeah, exactly, no problem. Came and from the train, left, right, onto him, and then I even managed to get once. I think was it in Nijmegen. I think I went from Frankfurt to Nijmegen on the day of the tournament.
Oh,
I just got an early train out of Frankfurt and got to Nijmegen, and it was possible, right?
Way to make us feel jealous about how cool trains are in Europe.
Oh, I know, you want more trains. In fact, they could have more trains in UK to get us over to the continent, but we've swallowed the American pill where we hate trains. Yeah.
No, trains are good.
I know. They're the best.
Big fan.
I don't understand why anyone wants to do the work of driving when you could sit there and read your book or listen to your podcast. It's baffling to me. Like, driving is hard work. It's stressful. Train's the best. Eurostar prices can be good if you can do it far enough in advance. Well, at least they used to be. I used to be able to get to Paris for 35 quid. Those are the days. Yeah, exactly. No pub. Exactly. You need to book in. But that's, same with everywhere. Yeah. Right. I think that's all I've got to say about Mahjong for 1 week. Are we streaming next week, Dave, or are you?
Don't know. We got to figure that out because we're gonna have league next week.
I feel like maybe I should try and stream on my own, but I just don't know if I can make the technology work anymore.
Oh no.
I hate stream. Like, why has this not been made easy for me?
Oh, we should figure it out. But let's take a look into it in a bit. I should probably get moving to be on time for our Learn and Play meetup, which we're having today. Also, good luck to everyone. And I don't know if anyone's watching from there because you're probably all playing Mahjong, but the DC tournament's going on today.
Oh, I saw
there's a whole bunch of folks out in DC.
It looks great, right?
Hope everyone's having a great time. Best of luck to everyone there. Folks down in DC, so I think they're gonna run a great
someone
event.
just messaged me about the DC tournament. Well done. Have fun. Yeah. I asked them to look at a document for me for WRC, but they're busy playing Mahjong. Well done.
Good.
Do that.
Good. That's what
Documents
you focus
suck.
on.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to get moving so I can head over to Sparrow's Nest for Learn and Play.
Yeah.
But
Good
thankful for
luck,
joining
Cologne, as
us.
well.
We'll hopefully see you next week. Otherwise, we'll let you know what the schedule is just because of League. I'm trying to figure out a good way to get streaming and League to coexist. But for the moment, have fun, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mahjong
Thank you
Jen, for
for
bringing everyone
rating us from
by, for
Jen's
rating
stream
us.
as well. Thank you.
And we'll see
Bye,
you
bye, bye, bye,
soon.
bye.
Bye for now.